Hi, welcome to a video of my record finds for Friday, January 6th, 2023, and also an update on a pet project, a nostalgic project regarding a certain old stereo system that I will explain to you in a moment. But let's look at the records that I bought at the record store. Same record store I visited on the 4th. I went back on the 6th. I forgot to buy this record that I wanted. I have Moi et l'autre is a famous French-Canadian sitcom, late 60s, early 70s. On the 4th, I bought the first edition of this record with a cool Normand Hudon illustration. And but I also have the second edition, which has the exact same number, but with a different record cover with better photos. And I have a pristine copy of this record, but my cover has a water stain on it. Decided to splurge $5 and get it over with and get this beautiful cover. So I might as well. So yeah, the 5 other albums you will see were all $2. 2 records by Denis Pépin, French singer. I remember Marinette from, which is a pop version of a Georges Brassens song. Georges Brassens actually appreciated having several covers of his songs on this album. Recorded in '74, and he wrote the liner notes here. So I was glad to get this for $2. Heck, I bought the Marinette 45 for $3 a decade ago, more or less. And another Denis Pépin album, also $2, done in '77. And I spot checked it on a listing post, and I liked it. So this looks good. This is a ridiculous, cheesy record cover. I got it because it was shown at the back of another children's records I got in '75, where they would show images of other records you could get. And this is the last one I was missing out of that list from another record. It's a long story, but I'll put them all together one day. It will be cool. So I'll just let the images speak for themselves. I don't even have to comment. The only thing I really hated in the '70s, girls drawing eyes, always looking to the side. I hated that. Girls in my classroom always did that. I go, why? Where is it looking at? It's outside of the frame. We don't know. Animagerie was a TV show for kids when I was a kid. It took it replaced Bobino during the summer schedule. Every week there was a different animal. This is actually shown in the opening animated credits. That is for the week. That specific record is about the cat, le chat, but there was a different animal every week. I got it because it has the opening theme song at the beginning. And then I got this album from late 50s, early 60s. I don't have the year. It's on the La Voix de son Maître label, his master's voice in French. It has Baba and also La Petite Ailleurs, Little Tailor, and both stories are told by Peter Ustinov. It was $2. Yes, I collect Baba records, and that one I've never seen before. Now, an update, a chronological story of how within 3 weeks I managed to, well, knock on wood, hopefully that the last 3 purchases I made on eBay were good ones, but it took me 3 weeks to rebuild, to reassemble my Uncle Jean-Marie's original stereo system he had in the '70s. Long story short, my mom was the oldest of 12. When I went to my grandmother's place as a kid in the '70s, the 4 youngest ones, 2 uncles and 2 aunts, including my Uncle Jean-Marie, were still living with my grandparents and buying all kinds of records. Various styles, various tastes. I was allowed only to play them on my Uncle Jean-Marie's stereo system. Considering how young I was, it was an honor to be able to use this cool-looking turntable. And I found this turntable, if you remember in a previous video. I saw it on December 17th at a local flea market. It was pricey. But I went back to buy it on the 18th. Now, on the 17th, I had already made my mind in the evening, went on the internet, on eBay to be more precise, and bought a cartridge, the original cartridge, Dual 650, that I remembered my uncle had on his turntable. The problem is, I received this on, let me see, on the, because I'm trying to follow the chronological order here. I received it on Thursday the 5th, yes, but I only had time to check it on Friday the 6th, the same day I went to buy the records here. Unfortunately, the stylus is shot, and the cartridge has two pads in which the what's the word? I had the word earlier. The diamond, the stylus is on a cantilever. I hate that word. The cantilever vibrates with those two pads, and they send the signal. One of them crumbled as I barely touched it, and let's not forget these are like 50 years old. And there's no sound in one of the channels, and the stylus is shot, so I got screwed, and I won't waste any energy and time on that. I just left a positive feedback on eBay, but citing everything that was wrong with it, and so people at least know if they take the time to read. But I didn't want any issues with the seller anyway. So forward on the let's fast forward here. 18th. Bought the turntable on the 18th. It has only two issues. I will get them fixed eventually. The motor knocks a little, makes a little clicking noise, and when you turn it off, it doesn't turn off right away. It just needs to be degreased and re-lubricated. All the mechanisms inside need to have the lubrication updated. Now, what's really crazy is that on December 22nd, I found this, and I received this on the 7th of January. It's the receiver my uncle had with his Dual 1214 in a CS16 case. He had this Channel Master 6278 receiver, and yeah, it wasn't like top hi-fi, it wasn't a Macintosh or something like that, or Marantz, but I loved this stereo when I was a kid, and the memories and everything. When I got it, it was great condition and everything, except for the button was crooked. So I tried to straighten it out I thought it could be pulled off, and it broke. And I think it was already broken and badly glued back. That's why it would be crooked. But I'll see if I just keep putting tape, or if I will risk putting a very serious glue and make sure that it fits properly and is not crooked. Anyway, so yeah, so I started getting really excited when I got this delivered on the 7th of January, and I went on eBay, and because now I was getting close, and I got more and more into it. So first thing I found was some guy sold the right stylus, which is a DN6, a double stylus. Two sides, 78 on one side, and LPS, exactly how I remembered my uncle having it. It was a red, this thing was red. I don't know how that part is called. If somebody knows, let me know in the comments. This part is made of metal because there's a magnet under the cartridge. When you flip it, goes it sticks. It's really cool. Anyway, so the seller had these new old stock stylus, double stylus. He had three. Bought all three of them. All mine. Hoarding them. That was on the morning of the 7th. In the afternoon, I found another guy who had not one, not two, but three Dual 650 cartridges. But it's starting to be pricey, so I decided to get the best looking one. I tried to pick which one I would. He had two with a stylus and one cheaper one with no stylus. Logically, I should have gotten the one with no stylus, since I already bought the other ones, these stylus. I don't need the ones, the wrong ones that his cartridges come with. But I decided to take this one because it's the look in front, since I'm doing this for memories. For nostalgic reasons, has to look as good as possible. So I got that one. It comes with some sort of stylus. made in September 72. So that's 50 years old. Now, and then the same day I found, whoops, wrong image, the speakers I remembered my uncle having with his receiver, with his Channel Master 6278. Now, the seller indicated that these came with a Channel Master 6329, but knowing that there are no model numbers, just a sign that said made in Japan for Channel Master, and looking at them really like for a long time, I even sent an email to my uncle Jean-Marie himself, and he remembered, not as clearly as I do, but he said, yeah, they look right. I can't be sure at 100%, but they look right. I said, that's good enough for me. So the more I look at them, the more I know. When I have them in front of me, it will be so much more. I'll know right away. But the front is exactly the way I remembered it, which is wood, silver colored here, and then this color. Oh my God, I love it. They're so clean. So yes, I splurged, because the shipping alone was, I don't want to, now I'm not proud of the amount of money I splurged so far on this pet project here. But if the speakers get here in good shape, and if the cartridge this time works, and the stylus also should be okay, all I'll have left to do to get my completed childhood memory stereo is to get the lubrication issue sorted out, and hopefully the clicking of the motor, and then I'll probably cry. I'll get some records that I have that my aunt, one of my aunts gave me her 45s she had, and I have other records by another uncle, so I'll play those specific records. And yeah, nostalgia is very expensive. I don't wish that my worst enemy to be stuck on the past, but my happiest moments of my life, of my childhood, of my difficult childhood, because I was bullied in school and I was not a popular kid at all. But when I was with my relatives, uncles, aunts, grandparents, it was an oasis of safety and happiness. And going on my mother's side, grandparents, and playing with my uncle's stereo. And I forgot to mention, I got my first cassette recorder, a Bigston recorder, when for Christmas in '75. I was 7 years old. I used to bring my cassette recorder at my grandparents' place and put it next to one of the two speakers, and I would record snippets of 45s. I was too impatient to record the entire songs. I would record maybe the first 30-40% of each 45, and I will recreate the exact sound to a T that I heard back then. It will be amazing. Whew. So yeah, I'm probably like boring you now, because in the cover I'm looking. There are a few scuffs on the cover, but I'm lucky it doesn't have any cracks or anything. I haven't cleaned it yet. Going to clean it only once everything is in top shape, working fine. Then I'll clean it. And I can't wait to have the two speakers. Oh my God! Thanks for watching.